computer. Hey, welcome everybody. Tuesday night Heat Team call. I'm excited for tonight because I think everybody on here knows me. I'm Nikki. I'm pretty sure everybody here knows me. So I was having a conversation with Michael Brown, and we were talking about reports and, hi Tova, and being engaged and what do you do when and how do you plan your month and how do you block your time. And we had this great conversation, especially about just the rhythm of the month. How do you get into the rhythm of the month? What do you do when? And for those of us that do it naturally, because we've been doing it so long, I don't think we realized that we actually had a rhythm. And so Michael put together an incredible training. I collaborated a little bit on it, and we're going to play with it tonight. We've not practiced it. We've not talked about it. So we're going to see what happens. So I'm going to do the screen share, right, Michael? Is that what we've decided? Okay.
Sounds good.
That's good. So here we go. Hang on one second. And wait, screen share. There we go. Okay, hopefully everybody's got this. Get it a little bit bigger. Get that out of the way. And I'm going to start the slideshow. I'm turning it over to you, Michael.
Awesome. Thanks, Nikki. Yeah, so when I was thinking about our system, thinking about the way in which we engage in our business, we talk about we are the team with a heart. We're the company with a heart. And that heart has a specific pulse, has a specific beat, has a specific rhythm. And when we think about how that rhythm moves through our day, through our week, through our month, through the seasons, through the years, it's important to acknowledge what that is, what that rhythm is. Sometimes we're sprinting, sometimes it's a marathon pace, sometimes, we're dealing with life. But what's important is that we know what the big rocks of our pulse are, the big rocks of our rhythm. And so when I looked up rhythm and organization, what came to mind is, we've all heard that, cells turn into tissues, tissues turn into organs, organs turn into organ systems, which make up an organism. We are that organism. So we have a beautiful research-based nutritional program to impact our bodies at the cellular level, at the atomic level. So atoms turn into molecules, as you can see in this picture, molecules into cells, cells into tissues, tissues into organs, etc. So we have this incredible system to impact our bodies at the cellular level, which impact our entire organism, right? As a human being, we benefit from that nutritional program. But we also have a way to impact from the human all the way out to what you see here in the picture, the biosphere or the world, right? And that's with our virtual office, our virtual franchise. So through the virtual franchise, even just a family plan user, they're going to be helping to save some money. And let's say that they make an extra $500. We know that, by making an extra $500 a month, we can save a lot of marriages. We can save a lot of people strife. We can offer people the school of their choice, et cetera, et cetera. The list goes on and on. And that's impacting the quality of life of each human. But now what we talk about is we then take that and say, okay, well, what about all of our family plan users, the people who are getting Juice Plus for free for their children? Now we're impacting the population, a larger population, specifically future generations. Then if we think about not just family plan users, but who are the people that are really actively impacting and transforming the communities, and that's our Juice Plus Healthy Living community. We are the ones who are going out there and actively transforming the world and having a positive impact on the community. And of course, that positive impact on the community really radically transforms the face of health on the planet. We are here to inspire healthy living around the world, not just healthy living in our home. And we are here to create a stable and lasting company to help as many people as possible realize their dreams. That's so much more expansive. That's so much more in the macro. So I want you to think about what is the rhythm, what is the system that we have in our Juice Plus franchise. So I kind of put this together. So you will build your system, you will build your rhythm, your system to the level of impact you wish to have on the planet. As we all know, with Chris and Nikki's teachings, it's not just about go out there and sell Juice Plus. It is a much larger vision. It is about purpose. It is about passion. It is about being aligned with who you are and how you be on the planet. And then your level of impact that you desire is aligned with your purpose on the planet. And your purpose on the planet is your gift to the world. So you can see how it all adds up and creating a beautiful butterfly effect. And your gift to the world will blossom through you and from you with the right support system in place. So you've got to give your rhythm and your system attention in order to make it blossom through you and from you. So let's go ahead to the next slide.
And I want to add one thing about systems, and it's something that I know you've heard a million times, but nobody can duplicate Michael. Nobody can duplicate me. Nobody can duplicate Clyde or Fantastic Biggs. It's not going to happen, right? But you can duplicate a system. And then how does this system, this expansive possibility, fit into the rhythms of our business? And that's where we're going to really take you, is that we have the system, but what you need to do is put the system, or what we all could do if we wanted to, depending on the level of impact we wanted to have on the planet. I'm liking that phrase, Michael. We could implement this system in a rhythm that really is the heartbeat of our business. So with that said, this is it. This is how it begins.
Beautiful. So the beginning of each week, let's just say, for example, we're starting with our Sunday, and Nikki has here DMO, Daily Magnificent Outcome. I always like to call it as well, Daily Magnificent Opportunity as well. So one, as it relates to how your week flows, right? I've heard Sunday night, you plan once, and then the rest of the week, you simply act. Really simple. I love that. So you're creating your DMO. You know exactly what you're going to do in those stolen or woven moments. And so that way you simply just have to act. The thinking is already taken care of. And that initiates the rhythm. Think of it as the beating of the heart initiates the pulse, and then it trickles out into the body. And that's how we circulate oxygenated, nutrient-rich blood. So it's the same thing with our business as well. And number 2 here, calendarize with big rocks of your life and business. And I think this really speaks to having the proper, your life values, as well as how this vehicle fits into your rhythm of life as well.
And so what it looks like also, when I say calendarize the big rocks, if you have children, you know what time in the morning you're dropping them off at school. That's in your calendar. That's not negotiable. You know what time you're picking them up. You know, if you're going to a gym because you have a specific class that's still open, you know the time there. So everything you already know that happens weekly, that gets in your calendar. That's not negotiable. And then you're going to next put in those Juice Plus and block them off actually in your calendar. Those are your rocks. And then when things shift and change, you've got space to make for them. So we're going to.
And we've all heard from multiple trainers on the main stage and from other stages as well, that if you want something to happen in your life, you've got to schedule it. You've got to put it on your calendar. Yeah, beautiful. So, what does a DMO look like? Well, here's just an example of a DMO. And this form was taken from, I think, the previous mission-driven model. And they have a newer, a little bit more pretty form on the Freedom Revolution. So if you go into Freedom Revolution, go into training and getting started, it's all right there. So just click on it, highlight it. If you like this form, I'll go ahead and post it on Turn Up the Heat. And any of the information that's on here, I can post in the Turn Up the Heat Voxer chat. So that way you guys will have those screenshots as well. So no need to worry there. But you can see how the rhythm of, connecting with 2 new people, 2 new follow-ups, 2 customers, connecting with 2 new team members, events. These are some of the nuts and bolts of the business. And when you plan them out, that henceforth begins your rhythm of the week.
Perfect.
Here's an example of a different type of DMO. And what's interesting about this particular DMO is it goes through all of the initial, the same nuts and bolts, but on the very bottom, it brings in elements to create harmony in our world. So we're not just focused on kind of driving the hammer or whatever, with Juice Plus, but we also have to nurture us so that we can then pour into our business, pour into the people that we are being of service to.
Yeah. All right, cool. And whatever one works for you, and if it's just getting your calendar out and putting stuff in and blocking time, it's great. But a lot of you, the beauty about these things is it's kind of giving you ideas what those big rocks are.
Right. And you know, if I go back to the power of our nutritional system, you know, Juice Plus only works when you put it in your body. So if you don't have a rhythm, a daily schedule of taking your Juice Plus, you're not going to yield the benefits at the cellular level, at the DNA level. Okay, so then the Juice Plus rocks and rhythm. You know, many of us have heard about what are those, the big rocks, but you know, here are some of the really important nuts and bolts to infuse in your day. So one, you know, plan your week. Two, then you've got to work the plan. You know, it works when you work. Focusing on customer care. These are the people that we are being of service to, the lives that we are transforming on a nutritional level. Social media posting. There's a whole viral posting plan that'll tell you exactly what a rhythm is that you can use. And other people are using other social media type challenges, 7-day challenge, 14-day challenge. I know that a lot of the leaders on this call have pioneered those. Utilizing Voxer, that is the #1 way that we as a team, as an organization, stay in contact and communication with our business partners. That is the most effective way that we do. And that comes from the top down. That's what Chris and Nikki taught us. That's what we're teaching our team. Team connection, virtual office. And, you know, the other thing I want to throw on here that might not be on there is kind of a branch of the virtual office, but also corporate support. You know, I think that's a really important piece. That's having corporate in your back pocket is an important connection that we all should have and know and to utilize.
If you'll notice on here, it says daily or several times a week. So what if you do this very part-time and you're thinking, this is overwhelming. I'm not going to do this every day. I have kids. I have a job. It's not going to happen. Remember the level of impact you want, and you might want a great level of impact, but right now it's not the season of your business to put it into, then just do it a few times a week. But these are the things to consistently take a look at, if not daily, several times a week. So anything that we're talking about here, again, some of you that are very part-time, you know, don't be thinking that you have to do an hour and a half of each of these things that we're listing. If you just did a little bit every once in a while, it would make a really big difference in your business. But knowing, okay, at the beginning of the month, the beginning of the week, I'm going to put my DMO together. During the week, I'm going to do these 5 or 6 things. You just kind of know them. And when you get in the habit or the rhythm of them, it will make your business flow like perfect music.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So again, the beginning of each month, we're looking at customer care, being of service to others. So we're reaching out to them to find out if they're interested in a way to offset their cost, like it says here, looking at who is in line or who's close to potentially achieving their Partner Plus. We're using the customer data, you know, based on the report that comes to us to find out what shipments or products are coming and when, to make sure, you know, nobody wants, I'm sure we've all had the experience where a customer reaches out to us and says, hey, I just received my Juice Plus and I don't want it now. That's humbug. That means that we're not doing our job. So our job is to simply reach out and connect with them ahead of time. Let them know what's happening. I remember at the Leavenworth boot camp, I was having a conversation with Chris Cotton and Woody Comstock, and Woody said something really profound to me. He said, no matter what, the first thing I do every morning, well, first Juice Plus thing I do every morning is I check my virtual office and I find out whose Juice Plus orders are next to be shipped, because my responsibility is to make sure that they know ahead of time. They signed up for the product because of who I am in their life, and I owe it to them to be accountable and in integrity. So on your Juice Plus virtual office, if you look at alerts, it'll tell you what customer orders are coming out in the next 10 days. So all you have to do is go in, and you could either send a text message, you could call them, or the virtual office even gives you an opportunity to send an email to them directly from the virtual office. It's all right there. Okay, let's see. If they're not interested, oh, go ahead, Nikki.
I was just going to say that first one under customer care, where it says offer them a way to offset their cost, what you're looking for is somebody who's you've got a customer, you're going to do your customer care at the beginning of the month, and what you're going to look for is any customers that have a reshipment that month. Your call to that customer will depend on whether or not they have reshipments. If they have no reshipments, then you can go down to just connect, build relationship, you know, add value, send a video, send an article, send a cookbook, do something if they don't have a shipment. But if they have a shipment coming, that month. Now, if you catch it at the beginning of the month, you have a whole month to help them get 1 or 2 more customers and turn them into a Partner Plus. And I'm going to show you there is going to be a video where not a video, a picture of where you go to find this. So you can take a snapshot or you can come back for the, and watch the rebroadcast. But you're really looking, so thinking about people as possible partners gives you an opportunity to connect. And if they're not reshipping, it's okay. Then you can just reconnect, build relationship, etc. So we're going to see, is there anything you want to add to this? Because I'm going to show them that next slide that shows them how to find it.
Yeah, go ahead. That's what I was going to go.
Wait, Michael put this together just to let you know. Michael, these are all the different ways that you can do customer care. Will you tell us where to find these, and just a really short sentence on each one, because we want to make sure that we finish all up by 6:30.
So in a nutshell, what I love about the customer experience survey is you can do this pre Juice Plus, and then also not necessarily post Juice Plus, but post several months of taking Juice Plus. So that way the customer feels like there's a system involved for customer care. There's when we are calling, we're not having to think up the questions. The company's already given this format for us. So this customer experience survey and questionnaire, that can be found on the Freedom Revolution. And if you go into in the drop-down menu, go into training and then customer care, you'll see the PDF that you can look at and download. So that way, when you have that time, oh, I'm doing 10 minutes of customer care right now, you can pick up the phone, you can call, and you have the survey in front of you or have it saved on your phone. And it gives you a framework for how to ask those questions to get into the nuts and bolts of what is their Juice Plus experience about. This is just some that I've saved over the past 14 years that I liked.
Cool. And again, it's great if you do it before and you do it 2 or 3 months in, because if they say they're not noticing anything, you can go back and say, well, what you were hoping for was a little weight loss. Oh yeah, I did lose weight. What you were hoping for was better sleep. Oh yeah, I'm not an insomniac anymore. What you were hoping for is not pooping. Oh yeah, I'm pooping 3 times a day. And when you ask them initially, what do they notice? They say, I don't think I noticed anything. So it's really great as a prompt to help them see what they don't see, which does exist. So I know that personally, that's what happened to me. So, I don't notice much. And then somebody said, I don't get headaches anymore. And I looked at Chris and said, I don't remember the last time I got a headache. Had no idea I was feeling this good. So, and this is where you find your frontline prospects. This is where you're going to find out whether your frontline customer, your personal customer, is going to have a reshipment and how close they could be to Partner Plus, so that you could explain to them, gee, if they found 1 or 2 friends that wanted to come on along with them, they'd actually reduce the cost of their product and they'd be helping and transforming other lives. So you can screenshot this if you like.
And I got to tell you here, this screenshot came from the training by Alexis Brusselman. How awesome it is that all of this information, if you want to dive deeper into exactly how to do customer care from this customer analysis and from your genealogy reports, scroll back. I forget exactly when the date was with Alexis, but
I got it. She did 2 of them, one on May 27th and one around January 20th. And I just rewatched them. And this is a screenshot from her training. I only did 2 screenshots, but they're there. And so now you don't have to necessarily go back, but those trainings are freaking awesome, you guys.
They are
really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
I've watched them a couple times learning to plan. Okay.
What we were really planning to do here is really give you timelines for when to do something. Plan on Sunday night, what to do on a weekly or semi-weekly basis, what to do at the beginning of the month. So we're going to move on to the next time zone, which is another beginning of the month.
So I love this. I've been thinking a lot about this quote. In order to move forward, we first have to know where we've come from. So this quote here: "You are where you are because of who you were, but where you go depends on entirely on who you choose to be." And I believe, who are we choosing to be in our Juice Plus virtual franchise? Who are the leaders we choose to be right now? We learn from the past, we apply to the present, and we create our future. So we look at our past PV report. So we are in November. So let's say on November 1st, we're looking at the PV report from the end of October. That tells us what exactly happened in our business. People can, there's whippets. wins in progress.
Wins and whips.
Whips. Yeah. Okay. Not whip it.
Not whip, that's a little funny dog.
There's wins in progress, and then there's what actually happens. And I think Sean Meyer says, I'll believe it when I see it on the virtual office or something like that. So you see it. That is exactly what's happening. Who are the active team members, who's putting on new customers, who got brand new customers perhaps, and all of that information helps you be able to track, okay, what is my upcoming month going to look like? So again, you've got the PV report, and then also from there, you can also put together your recognition. The first Tuesday night, we have our recognition call. So if you're staying on track of that, you'll be able to appropriately recognize your team as well as celebrate them on the call. And everybody loves to be recognized for our efforts. So it's a beautiful thing. And then we have the customer analysis, which we just went over in the previous slide.
We didn't go over the customer analysis.
Oh, sorry.
That was simply customer data. This is a little bit different, but keep going.
Okay. So one of the awesome things with the customer analysis is you can look at, I love when Alexis shared this. She said she looks on her customer analysis and she looks for those D's, and the D is I think the next slide might have the
so yeah, just to get that straight, the customer analysis doesn't have the D's on it. Where you're going to find the D's is on your customer genealogy report, which we did not include in here, which we need to add, Michael, because I think that's really important. But just a really quick review of this, that PVC report, when I put fix and celebrate, it means if you see people were really close to qualifying and they didn't make it, how could you help them next time actually get there? And then you could still celebrate how close they were. So fix and celebrate. And I think the next slide is about the customer. Oh, it's coming up. Let me see if I can get to it quickly and then we'll come back. I thought I put it here. I did not, Michael. I have it and I somehow didn't get it on a slide. So we'll just keep going. Customer analysis, and again, we will post that, but it really is fabulous for telling you who has new customers and when the reshipments are coming for your partners. We did that for your own customers, but now you can look at all of your partners and see who's shipping in what month, and see if one of your distributors who maybe got to Partner Plus but never got to QSC, and now all of a sudden you see 5 reshipments coming in January, you can then plan and say to them, gosh, in January, you've got 5 shipments coming. Do you think you want to start over again and maybe go to QSC, and we'll use December and January to get you there?
So it's a strategy, right? We're looking at the reports. The reports are telling us what's happening, and then we can strategize using that data. And then we take a pulse for our team member to see if that's something that they want to move forward to. Now we have a plan. Customer analysis. So this is the one I was jumping ahead talking about. No, I'm sorry. We're still in customer analysis. So
for partners, remember, we're still talking about weekly partner care.
Right.
So you would use the customer analysis when you're trying to help partners, and go for it, Michael. Tell us why we would be using that.
So with the customer analysis, you're looking at who is on the cusp for achieving their Partner Plus or their QSC, who is attracting new customers, right? So then you can congratulate them, acknowledge them. If somebody is in a pattern of only ordering duos, you can then say, hey, you know what? If you've got 10 duos, imagine if everybody, what would happen to your paycheck? What would happen to how close you are to promotion if everybody was a trio instead? Or perhaps you can then strategize on customer care as you're reaching out to the customers. Hey, you're on the duo, but gosh, there's this great video on the vineyard. I'd love to see if that's something you want to add in to create a more broad spectrum, get the rainbow of colors, et cetera. Or, hey, we're going to be starting the shred. I noticed you don't have the complete. Is the shred something you're interested in? Here's the shred video, et cetera, et cetera. So then, is there anything else you want to add to that one?
I also say, for those of you that have been in the business for a while, find an odd order. And when I mean an odd order, if I'm looking at my customer analysis, which has all my distributors and whatever their customers have ordered. And like Michael said, if I see one distributor who only has red and green, boy, we can go back and they may tell me why they only have red and green customers, and we can teach them how to find prospects that would like to, existing customers that would like to expand, like Michael said. The odd order, when I see somebody who's ordered capsules for themselves and a box of Chewies, and they're not on the Children's Health Study, I always call up my partner and say, I'm noticing that you've got a couple people that have a trio and then a children's juice, gummy order. Why is that? And they'll go, well, what do you mean? I'll say, well, did you know you could get it for free? And for whatever reason, it didn't happen. They didn't know they could sponsor a grandchild. And then we add that child on for free. Great customer service. That's not about money to us. It doesn't change our money, but it does two things. One, it really shows customer service, and it also usually generates retention. So that's when I say, I look at their orders, and sometimes I'll find something that just seems odd to me.
So again, this is just looking at the rhythm. When we look at the reports, we're doing a brief glance, what pops out at us, and then it prompts us to take action. Yeah. Okay.
So that was in the first week. So we talked about what to do at the beginning of the week to do your plan. We talked about activities at the beginning of the month and your first week. Now we're looking at what do we do the second week of the month?
So the second week of the month, right around the 10th of every month, the customer genealogy report comes out. And one of the things that was so eye-opening for me with the customer genealogy report is looking at the little code on the far right end of the column. And that little code is a single letter, and that's really significant. What you're specifically looking for is the D's. D's means that their payment has been denied or declined. And in a nutshell, what that means is so they have the product, but they haven't fully paid for it, which means that the company is going to then put them in a collections unit, so to speak. And so we want to help make sure that our customers are aware of any payments that might be declined or denied. And we want to make sure that we keep them out of collections. That's for financial health and wellness. So it was interesting. I was going through this report the other month, and I counted in Mariah and my entire organization 34 Ds. And it occurred to me, gosh, and Alexis said this as well. She said, imagine in 1 month what 34 new customer orders would do to your business. Imagine if you were somebody going for a promotion, those 34 new orders might bump you up and over to be able to earn that promotion. That's really significant. So not only significant in our paycheck and our pay line, but also significant to what it means for the customer. So really making sure that you do that. This screen, the column on the far left here, I took from a customer genealogy care PDF that's found on the Freedom Revolution. And the entire PDF, there's a lot of busy information, but really I think the most important piece is that far right-hand column. It tells you what the letters are, what they mean, and then when you look down, it'll tell you exactly how the conversation could potentially flow when you're reaching out to your team. I don't know if you guys can see it here, but so it's under the Freedom Revolution, under the menu. I believe it's, what did I say it was, Nikki? Was it training?
I'm pretty sure.
Training, and then you scroll down, and then you'll see customer genealogy report, and you click on that and it opens up, and it tells you exactly how to read it.
And Michael, you can also go to A to Z and probably type in customer genealogy report or genealogy, and it would come up that way on the Freedom Revolution, because we've got the A to Z that you can type in what you're looking for.
Yeah. So I think, week number 2, making sure that you're clear with the customer genealogy report. The customers, they trusted us to give us their credit cards. They also need to trust us to make sure that we're going to follow up with them before they get their shipment, and to make sure that their payments are going through okay. So that's week 2. And of course, you're still following the rhythm with customer care, touch and base on team as it weaves into your day. Okay, rhythm of the month, week 3 and 4. You're reviewing your PVC report. Who is close to performance bonus qualification? Who's on track for their promotions? Revisiting the worksheets. I encourage our team to post updated worksheets on their individual team chats, so everybody can be aware of how close they are and what's going on. If you see here, love calls. So we've all had that team member, that business partner who's super stoked, and then all of a sudden they go dark. All of a sudden they go silent. Well, the love call is simply reaching out and touching someone, reaching out and saying, hey, what's going on? I haven't heard from you in a while. How's life? Are you okay? What do you need any support? Talk to me. Where are you at? You know, because we want to support them in the way that they need in order to move through their shadow and find their light. And we get to be the one to stand in their light sometimes when they're facing the shadow. It's a beautiful thing being a leader in this business, because it's an opportunity to help raise people up.
And rise.
Say again?
And raise and rise.
Raise and rise them. And then again, if you look here, so we have another opportunity to check our customer genealogy report on the 25th. Again, this is all part of the rhythm. The company is telling us, giving us this information. We simply need to look at it and respond with action.
So when you really are starting to look at all this, hopefully you're getting the idea that there's certain things that you can write into your calendars, your big rocks. On the 10th through the 15th of the month, you can actually put, check my customer genealogy. You can write it in your calendar on the 25th. So these are things that you can actually put in ahead of time, write them in your calendar, so that when you wake up that day, oh yeah, it's the day I do this. And in your calendar, at least on an iPhone, I'm sure it's the same on an Android. Let's say on the 25th of every month, you check your genealogy report, and you also do it on the 10th. Well, on the 10th, you can put repeat every month. And on the 25th, you can put repeat every month. And now you've got it in your calendar, and it's just part of what you do, and you get into a habit through your calendar because you've calendarized. It's really quite brilliant, Michael.
I love it. And then week four, the time is always right to do what is right. Week 4 is all about action, making sure that we're following up, making sure that none of our team lose an opportunity for an incredible promotion, making sure that those who are close to qualification know that they're only 1 or 2 orders away, and what does support look like. Making sure that we involve our upline national marketing directors as needed to be able to help love up on those who are needing the love to finish the month strong.
Kirsten just said something in the chat really good. These are phone calls, not just texts. If we're really going to develop relationship with our customers, sometimes you can text, but you certainly wouldn't want to text the idea of them getting some product and going to Partner Plus. You certainly wouldn't, if you know that their mother was really sick last time you talked, texting would be a lot nice. And even if it was a voice message, a text voice message, that's even better than just a text. So Kirsten, thank you so much for commenting on that. And I know what good customer care you do.
All right, so the big rocks, we're just about to close this up here. So the big rocks of our rhythm, the big heartbeats that initiate the pulse. Do you have a system to take care of the people who add to your check, fulfill your purpose and fill your heart, transform and uplift you, and the people that you provide a service to? Do you have a system that's going to allow you to provide a service? I know as a parent, we have a system that we're going to be giving our children the love that they need and support they need. Same thing with our customers, same thing with our team. And I love this last question. Do you have a system in place that will support your growth? Because we know that this is a personal growth and development business, personal growth and development program, cleverly disguised as a business. And here's a quote that I said to one of my patients: it doesn't matter the size of the steps that you're taking, as long as you're taking steps. And I love Maya Angelou. She says, nothing will work unless you do. These are the systems, or these are examples of systems that you could put in place to create a rhythm to maximize your impact, not just on your own livelihood, well-being, financial health, and quality of life, but also the impact you're making on communities, populations around the world, and uplifting our world. I mean, that is, in essence, is what the healthy living revolution is all about.
And there's our last slide, Michael. Did you already say that one?
Oh, I haven't. Okay.
Oh,
never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. Thank you, Margaret Mead.
Yeah, I love that quote. So I'm going to stop share here, and hopefully we're all here. One thing I'm going to do, and I really apologize for not having that other screenshot, that those 2 screenshots are so important to learning how to read reports. I'm going to post both of those on Turn Up the Heat, as well as our Facebook group. So you can actually have, something to refer to. You don't have to remember and go back and write it down, because that's what I really wanted to do. If you really seriously want to build a large business, and have real impact on our business. And there may be somebody that some of you that really feel like that, but right now, time-wise, you can't give it that kind of time. But I'm gonna really encourage you to go back and actually watch the 2 videos with Alexis Busselman. She really goes through the reports very bit by bit by bit by bit with the idea of this rhythm. Because that's really it. I didn't want to so much teach about how to, but why and how to implement these things into your business on a regular basis. So you wake up, I mean, when we were pouring into this business in a way, you know, our first 5-10 years that we don't necessarily do consistently now that we did. I remember qualifiers day, I was up at 6 a.m. looking at my report all day long to figure out who I could help get to the next step. Now I have a lot of leaders that are doing that. And so I'm not needed as much to do that. But I knew that on the 29th or 30th of the month, I was going to do that. That was part of my day. And I knew that Sunday, well, for me, it wasn't Sunday night. I always did my plan for the next week and still would rather do it on Friday night. Because I don't want it, Saturday and Sunday, like Sunday used to be bonanza. You know, you'd watch TV and bonanza. I don't want something to get in the way of bonanza on Sunday night. It's in my head like Sunday night, I'm not quite ready for the next day yet. So I like to do my plan on Friday afternoon. So are there any questions? Hey, Noelle. Emily, good to see you.
I don't have questions. I just think that this could go to one of our global conferences as a training. It was so fabulous. And Michael, it's just really, really awesome to hear your voice again and just be in the presence of your wisdom.
She's totally right. When Michael brought this up and I said, well, if you want to kind of put something together, let's do it. And he put a PowerPoint together. And then today he had patience and stuff. And so I just tweaked it a little bit. Did it work, Michael? Did my tweaking work? You have to say yes, there's too many people watching.
Oh, I think it was awesome. I love the dynamic duo approach. I love the bouncing back and forth. It was super fun.
Good.
Yeah.
Great. Any other questions? Well, good to see your faces. This recording will be up, the 2 snapshots of where to find reports and how to use them. I promise that they're going to go on to the Turn Up the Heat Voxer and the Turn Up the Heat Facebook group. And Michael, was there something that you were doing, I forget, and posting, or no, a couple of the DMO things you were going to post?
Yeah, I was going to post some of the DMOs.
Okay, great.